Live from inside Porsche, Colorado Springs, it's the First Dibs podcast with our hosts, John Dyste and Justin Underwood. Buckle up and let's go for a ride.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. We are filming this in front of a live audience tonight.
And they're loving it.
That's right, absolutely. So welcome back to the First Dibs podcast from inside Porsche, Colorado Springs. I'm Justin.
I'm Brendan, filling in for John.
As you can tell, John is on another vacation.
Which is a shocker.
Shocker, yeah. He's celebrating his anniversary, he and Lauren's anniversary, I should say. Now, I'm not sure, I don't remember, Brendan, you might know the timeline. Right, this is either his gay anniversary or it's the real anniversary. I have a feeling it's the real anniversary. Well, the official, legal anniversary.
So what I remember is the gay marriage came first.
Okay. Yes, that's right.
And then the real wedding was a week later, I think.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this is the real wedding.
I think this is probably the real wedding.
Yeah.
So does that mean he cut the show short last week to go to his gay marriage? I was listening. We were having a good time. We were working on a car, and then this got to be a short show. I've got my anniversary.
That's very possible.
You loser.
Right. So anyway, John and Lauren, I think they're on a plane right now, actually, and they're headed to Hawaii. And so anyway, I hope you have a great week, and if you can watch the show, I hope you enjoy it. So I do have some business to talk about, and you can certainly join in because Brendan is a car guy. Brendan is car guy of car guys.
I am a car guy, but we also may need to check if our audio is on, according to YouTube. It looks good.
It'll be fine.
It'll be great.
Does it register here?
It registers there.
Yeah,
it's there.
Yeah, it's there.
I'll work it in the background. I'm going to
rolling.
produce and run the show at the same time. It's going to be great.
Right.
But
some behind the scenes is that we're totally winging this because the equipment that we should be using, I can't get into. But anyway, so I do have some business to talk about. It's been a really good, strong, solid week here at Porsche Colorado Springs again. The weather held out tremendously, which helps business in January. And by the way, folks, tomorrow is the last day of the month. You know what that means?
I do, but I want to hear it from you. You say it best.
Just all hands on deck.
All hands on deck.
Everybody's going to be here to help out, right?
I was going to say sales of desperation.
No. We're never desperate for sales. That's a good reminder, Brendan. We don't have anything here that anybody needs.
That's correct.
Right? This is a want. We live and work in a want environment,
and it's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. It makes it more fun. So I do want to point out we had some fun. We got some business. This car sitting right behind me, maybe some people can make out a little bit of the emblem there. This is a 1957 356 1500 GS. This is a 4-cam.
Which you called it a Carrera, right?
Yep, 356 Carrera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 1500 GS, so 1500 cc's. It makes about 100 horsepower or so, but the 4-cam engine, kind of essentially, they were taking more or less race car engines and putting them in street cars. Dual overhead cam. This stuff was so crazy for its time. In 1957, making 100 horsepower in this little tiny car. And it's a sewing machine of an engine. It's unbelievable how it starts up. And there's a whole process to how it starts up. If you don't know how to start the car, you won't be able to start it.
Yeah, you were telling me about it before the show, and it's hard to even fathom a quad cam motor in 1957.
Right?
Right?
It's crazy. Yeah, there's not many people left in the world that even know how to service these cars or certainly, rebuild it. The crank, the bearings, the main journals, if you will, these are roller bearings.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Free spinning, right? I mean, this car, you got to kind of rag it out when you drive it. There's this car came with these amazing documents. It's bigger than a binder. Like it's this legal, envelope kind of thing that's just stuffed, just crammed full of documents. Awards from Amelia Island, from a number of shows. Well, anyway, I think the coolest document in this whole history packet of this car, the engine builder, which is based out of Jackson Hole, Wyoming, he writes this 2-page deal on how to start and drive your car.
Really?
Yeah, properly.
That's quite a procedure. Like, give us a taste of what you got to do to start this car.
So this car has dual ignition coils, two
Okay.
coils, right? One per bank.
Right.
And then it does have an actual, like a priming fuel pump. It still has mechanical fuel pumps, but it has a like electronic priming fuel pump to get those going.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of knobs. If you're sitting in the driver's seat looking through the steering wheel, above the tachometer are two pull tabs, if you will, pull knobs. Those are the coils. So to the left of those, down a little bit, is this another knob that you pull out to turn on the fuel pump, if you will, the priming fuel pump. So get in, keys on the left, turn the ignition key to the on position.
Okay.
Okay. Pull out the knob for the priming fuel pump, and you'll hear it, right? Especially if it's been sitting for a little bit.
Right.
It goes da-da-da-da-da-da, and then it gets quiet because it's primed up at that point. Pull out the two coil knobs, right? So click, click on each side of the tachometer. So now the coils will actually fire,
right,
as it's turning over. Ignition key it's still in the on position, but at that point it has to be pressed in toward into the dash, if you will. Rotate it to the right. A lot of times you don't even need to give it any gas. Let it turn over a few times, and it starts to idle. Sometimes you may need to give it a little bit of gas to open the carbs, just a tad, if it's been sitting for a really long time. And then it starts, it's running, brum, 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 brum. And if you need the idle to pick up, there's a larger button, if you will, to the bottom right side of the tachometer. You pull it out from the dashboard.
Okay.
And then that's actually connected to the throttle linkage. And so if you need to adjust the idle,
so you get kind of this fine resistance button to just manually open the throttle a little bit.
And if that piece there, the fatter knob, if you will, when you pull it out, you'll notice it has teeth on the bottom of it. And what you do is that you pull it out and then you rotate it to lock it into place.
Right. So you've got it on the cam for the teeth now.
Kind of like older 911s, how they have the throttle adjuster on the floor, right? If you need to change your idle or just for warm-up phase, that kind of stuff. It's essentially the same thing, but it's in the dash at that point. But you pull it out, rotate it to keep it in place. And then you set your idle, you let it warm up. But the thing, I mean, it's amazing, right? I mean, the whole startup procedure. And then once you're driving it, it specifically states by the engine builder, who is world renowned for this stuff, that if you're driving this car below 3,000 RPM at any time while you're driving, not idling, obviously, but if you're driving the car below 3,000 RPM, you could potentially be causing harm to the engine.
Wow. Isn't it?
They want you to keep it between 3,000 and 6,000 RPM all the time.
Isn't it kind of wild how they got stuff right back then? Because I mean, you think about how idles progressed over the ages, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Into the 80s, we're doing idle with vacuum motors, right? We're doing idle stabilizer valves, which is just vacuum solenoid that's buzzing,
right?
Opening a little shutter window a million times a second.
Mm-hmm.
And every car with idle stabilizer motor idle sucks because that eventually seizes.
Right.
My Coupe GT, I remember, when I didn't know anything about cars, I had just bought that 1987 Audi Coupe GT.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first car problem I ever had to navigate. Was my idle stabilizer valve had opened, and the car was idling at about $5,000.
Wow.
And I just called that my mandatory cruise control. So I was driving around Colorado Springs back at that point, like just gotten out of college, was hanging out for the summer with my folks, and just using the clutch to deal with that whole situation. And now you're not going to touch an idle issue without a computer, right? You need to have your degree in I don't know, C++, something more than that.
Right.
Advanced astrophysics to get the computer to spit the right idle out.
Yep.
How cool is that? Just a cable. It advances the throttle a little bit.
Absolutely. It's genius. So not only is there a coolness factor to having to know how to start your car, right, is a pretty neat thing, but obviously knowing how to drive it, understanding what's happening there. The condition of this car,
it's wild just from here.
Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Before it got here, a person told me saying, like, the pictures are great, right, of the car, but once you see it in person, you just can't describe it. Like, you have to see it, and I totally get it. Once this car showed up, holy cow. Yeah, no, it is very impressive. I haven't unwrapped all the trophies and stuff that came with the car as well, and I haven't gone through every document that's there. This car at one point in time was a shade of red. So it started life new in the silver metallic with the wine red interior, which is how it sits today. At some point in the car's life, it was painted red and had a tan interior put into it.
Classic combo.
Yeah, I guess that's just what they wanted, at the time. So anyway, at a previous ownership realized that was wrong, that was incorrect for the car. And so they decided to go through the painstaking task of putting it back to original. So this doesn't have a numbers matching engine, which that's really common for a 4Cam. It's common for 356s in general. 356s true numbers matching, meaning that the chassis number, the engine number, and the transmission number all align on the Cardex card.
Right.
That's kind of rare. We happen to have a Dolphin Gray 65 sitting here that is a true numbers matching car. 4Cams were pretty high strung, right? These were like the streetable F1 cars. These were the streetable McLarens, right? Back in their day. Except it's Porsche.
It's Porsche.
It's Porsche. But these were streetable race cars for their day. It's awesome and amazing that the car even has the 4Cam engine in it. What's really common for people to do with one of these cars, with a GS Carrera, is to take the 4Cam engine out. They put a 912 engine in it to drive it around town, and they put the original or whatever 4Cam engine on a stand for a display. Obviously, trying to keep it in good condition to be used at a later date if you want to.
Right.
Reason being is, God forbid, you're rear-ended by some high school kid or somebody that's texting and driving. If they hit the back of the car right hard enough to where it actually, has an effect or impact on the engine,
that's going to be a tough one to deal with.
Yeah. The engine alone, people, is valued at least $300,000 just for the engine alone.
Stuff like that is wild.
Isn't that crazy? But after seeing this car, and I drove it, I guess a total combined, 150 feet at this point. It's wicked. You can just tell, right? Especially coming from the service background, and I've mentioned this before, 911s, Porsche cars in general, it takes, 30 yards, right, to tell how somebody drives their car. Yeah, it's taken 150 feet to say that this car is just awesome. Everything about it is just perfect.
You did that 150 feet at 3,000 or more, right?
No. I think I got it up to about 3,200 RPM.
There you go.
So the reason I was able to drive it 150 feet, the car, when it was dropped off, it was delivered here to our pre-owned and classic building here. And then it was the day or two, I think it was 2 days after, we had a little event here in front of the new car showroom early in the morning. So the Broadmoor Winter Polo Classic is coming up on February 21st. They came to us asking if we would help partnership with them, maybe do a little bit of a sponsorship. Said, okay, maybe we could put, a car or two on display. And their whole thought process is putting horsepower with horsepower.
Right.
And I thought, okay, I can go with that. Well, so fast forward a little time, they said, hey, we were thinking about doing a photo shoot in front of the dealership. What do you think about that? Okay, yeah, sure.
Have you ever had a horse in front of the dealership?
Well, this is before. Okay, so we'd like to do a photo shoot in front of the dealership. Okay, what do you have in mind? Well, we want to bring some horses there. So, oh wow, okay.
Well, that's a horse of a different color.
Yeah. I said, well, that's pretty different. That's okay. That sounds awesome. I'm totally in. Right, this sounds really different, and. I had an idea in my mind. I know what horses are, right? I've been around horses, but I didn't know who would be here. I didn't know the caliber of horses that would be here. Anyway, so I think it was the local Fox 21 News channel showed up, which that's another kind of funny part of it. I didn't realize it was going to be live on TV. I thought it was a photo shoot, right? Come take some promotional shots in front of the dealership.
Right.
Have a couple horses in front of the store with some cool cars, in the background. No, I mean, there was a reporter, here from the local news channel. She sat in our simulator making some kind of like funny noises and stuff, talking about being at the Porsche dealership and saying, what does Porsche and the Broadmoor Winter Polo Classic have in common? And so it was these little 90-second clips,
right,
like between news stories,
little vignettes for the news. Yeah.
So they were here at 9 o'clock. Well, they got here a little bit earlier, but the whole news thing took place from about 8:45 through about 9:30 or so, and the horses were out front. And I it's kind of funny because they specifically requested, we're envisioning all black cars,
right?
And if you have some new high power, like really cool stuff, right? That would be awesome, which we have a 2025 GT3 RS in black, right?
Yeah,
so
I feel like you guys can, occasionally bring some things out like that.
Yeah, we can accommodate, yeah. And then they said, we'd really love to have a classic car, if you have it, representing like new, high horsepower with the horses, and then old, I'm not going to lie, old money that ties in kind of with the Broadmoor and Polo and all that kind of stuff. I said, well, I don't have a black classic car, but I have the most epic silver, right, classic car. So very monochromatic, right? And the silver will help stand out. They're like, oh, that's beautiful. I pull this thing down, right, from the showroom to put it out with the black GT3 RS, GT3 and a Targa and all that stuff. Everybody flocked to this car instantly. Everybody that was here for the news, for the photo shoot, all this stuff, everybody kept asking questions about this car, gawking at this car, taking so many pictures of this car. The horses, and I specifically told them, if there's one car right here for a horse not to get very close to, it's this one. And you know what they did?
Horse right next to it?
They put both horses right next to it,
yeah,
like completely solo, right? So they could get some cool shots. And I'm sweating. I'm sweating like the whole time. But you know what? The young ladies that showed up, the caretakers of the horses themselves were just absolute pros. So thank you, to you, the horses, Chris, kind of their manager, if you will. Everybody that was here, part of it. It was such a really cool event, and it was nearly stopping traffic driving by the dealership. Seeing the horses out front, and it's already on our Instagram, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you seen the output from the shoot, or
just a couple?
Okay.
So Pat, who you know from here, he was able to get down there to take some shots, for some promotional stuff. And it's Sports Corp here locally that's kind of doing everything. So a collaboration between Porsche Colorado Springs and Sports Corp as far as the horse event, and it took less than 3 minutes for a horse to take a crap in our service drive.
That was a question that was on my mind, Justin. I didn't know if I was going to ask it on air, but I'm glad you dared to go there.
Yeah, no, but Chris, the curator of the horses, took care of it legally. But it was so funny because you could tell that horse was dying to get out of the trailer. It was like, right in the middle of our service drive area.
Shit happens, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm. It was epic. I mean, and the weather was, just beautiful outside, and everybody that showed up. Erica from the Denver Polo Club. You may have met her.
Yeah, we at Morgan Adams, some of the Denver Polo Club people put on the polo demonstration at the Sunday Concours.
Yeah, she was here.
Yeah.
And she was part of the live, on air stuff. And everybody freaked about the RD Extreme. We had to hide it. We put it in the back of everything. But there were a couple people that remember seeing it from that Morgan Adams event, and Erica was one of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, small, great community of people. It was a super fantastic event. But I got to say, out of a 2025 GT3 RS, a 2022 GT3, and a 2025 Targa 4 GTS, this 1957 356 stole the day. No one would have known that all the horsepower cars were, less than 10 feet away from it. Everybody absolutely loved this car.
And I think it's something about the condition too, because kind of far be it from me to ever give a compliment to a silver car, especially a Porsche, because every time you talk to someone who just got a Porsche, what did you just get? Oh, it's a silver 911. That's so creative. Like you and everybody's dentist.
Right.
But I mean, when you take a look at this thing and the quality of the paint on it, like it is just wild how much depth there is to the silver just looking at it from here. And the lighting in here, I would say it's kind of harsh.
It is harsh. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, this car, it's to see it in person and to understand a little bit more about it when you do see it and you look at the dash and you see, I mean, just how perfect everything is assembled and the complexity of it and just the specialness. An extremely rare car. Super fortunate to have it here sitting on the showroom, and it is available. It is for sale. It's not on the website yet because it showed up just the other day, so it has to go through our inspection process. But I mean, we're not going to need to do anything to this car. This is as perfect as you're going to find.
So when's it going to start living outside?
Never.
That one is. For everyone who's listening, we have one just behind the camera.
It's not a GS. It's not a 4-cam.
Okay.
It's a 1965.
So this is special 65. Among the special.
This is incredibly special. Being a 356A Carrera GS, that's an amazing car. A very amazing car.
All right, I'm going to give you a weird question here, but I know you like this generation. This or a 916? I get a car for free coupon. Are you taking the 916 or are you taking the GS?
Wow. You know what? Honestly, after seeing this and being around it and driving it 150 feet, I might take this. I mean, no, seriously, I'd probably take the GS. 356s are super special, and it's the car that I knew the least about coming here to Porsche Colorado Springs. My 15-year tenure before coming down here, 356s were the one car that I saw the least of.
I would imagine.
And then coming down here, it's still probably, I mean, it's one of the least cars that we see, but we see them. We see clients drive them, we sell them, right? We buy them, obviously servicing them, right, for our customers. And I've learned a tremendous amount about 356s in the last 10 plus years of being here. And Joe Brenner, hey, thanks, buddy, where he feels that it's very important that we have one, right, all the time. And it wasn't always that way. It wasn't that way when I first started here, but for the last, call it 7-ish years, it has been. We've always been able to maintain keeping a 356 here. And it's just unbelievable. And maybe this sounds ridiculous, but it's like the next one is that much more special. The Dolphin Gray car that we're kind of teasing about sitting outside, that car has more charm and more character than this GS does.
Because it's been a driver, I would assume.
Absolutely. It's a driver. It's got faded paint. That's a true numbers matching car.
Right.
It's been really well taken care of. It's got the mesh, over the headlights. And, it's just, I mean, that's a perfect, there's nothing wrong with that car. Like, that's an amazing 356. This is just
a cut above,
a totally different level of it. However, this car doesn't have the same kind of character or charm that 65 does, because that's an imperfect car. The 65 is an imperfect car.
Right, you're getting the patina of use.
Correct.
With it, so you get to kind of get a window into the car's life.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, though. You say, okay, Justin, you got to choose between the Dolphin Gray and the, well, duh. I'm taking the GS. I'm taking the Carrera.
But over a 916.
Yeah, the 916 I think the 916 that Brendan is referring to, it's like a 914.6, but it's hopped up. It's got a 2.7 liter in it. It was the Carrera, like the RS, the 2.7 liter RS before the 2.7 liter RS was a car. I shouldn't say a car, but before it was, really.
I think it works.
Incredibly rare. There's 10 of them that exist in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them has the 3.6 or 3.8 liter in it, I think, the Brutus car.
Mm-hmm.
So the 916, obviously very special. That would be insanely fun to drive around. This just has a different feel. I describe 356s as it's like you're in a movie.
That's where I was just thinking about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, driving a 356 it's like being in a movie. It's not like watching a movie. It's like being in the movie, right? You're just kind of bombing around. You're not going anywhere, incredibly fast or blazing around. There's just, I don't know. There's a sense. There's an interaction. There's the smell and the feel. It's a different kind of visceral experience driving a really nice, well-sorted 356. It's incredibly special.
Yeah, I mean, for that, the purpose of the drive is the car, right? You're going out to go spend time, bond with the car. You're not probably taking your 356 to like the store.
No. No.
Which makes it special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so.
But yeah, fantastic car. We ought to take a second and check in with our audience, who's kind enough to let us know that our audio is indeed on. We've
Okay,
squared
good.
that one away.
Yeah.
Thank
We're
you,
already
Brian.
26 minutes in. That's
Isn't that
crazy.
wild?
Yeah.
That's half the show. We're done. We're half done. We got Dan McInnes. We've got Shift Colorado, which
Excellent.
Let's not tell anyone that's me.
Thanks, guys.
Bearded Customs chiming in, saying
Excellent.
hey.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
And we've got our first question from Stephen H.
Hey, Stephen H. Hey, man. Awesome. Thank
I'll
you
hit you
again.
with the question, then we'll get to business. I feel like I'm doing a bad John. We haven't gotten to business yet, but that's
No,
okay.
you're doing fantastic. Mm-hmm.
So, Justin, drawing from your current inventory, build out your 3-car garage. Mine are the 26 Cayenne Turbo, chalk with black silver houndstooth, the Golf Orange GT3, and the 24 Targa 4 GTS in Alex Gray over black.
Wow. You should probably jump on that, Steven, because that car has gotten some recent attention here.
Has that car got some heat?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Alex Gray car. Everybody calls it green. I mean, I don't consider myself colorblind, but maybe I am. I see a gray car when I look at that car.
Are we talking like an Iceland green situation here, too?
No. I mean, I think people just think of dark olive.
Right.
Or I think they're thinking of dark olive.
So they're seeing a dark gray car.
Yeah, but everyone calls it green. Even on the key tag, like the guys checked it in wrong. It says green.
Well, like Iceland green. Where was the green there? That's Grandpa's khakis. that was the tannest interior I've had since.
Yeah,
I think
Iceland
my
green
age.
is kind of a funny because the first time I saw Iceland green interior, when I opened the door, the way that I expressed it was, it looks like I'm looking through green tinted glass. You know what I mean?
I'm looking at tan, but I'm thinking of the word green.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like looking through green glass. That's what it felt like.
Right.
It's awesome, right? And Iceland green, it's kind of funny because I don't know that I've ever seen it in a different car that's not colored.
Also green.
Yeah, aventurine green. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think in my time with it, if you looked at it at dusk, it would start to look fairly green.
Yeah.
Like the right lighting, the green would come out, which was interesting.
It's really cool. Mm-hmm.
Kind of Shanghaiing Steven's question here. So of your inventory, Justin, just build your 3-car garage, and I'm assuming we're starting with the GS.
That'd be my classic car.
That'd be your
I
classic?
think this would be my classic car with our current inventory. A car that we haven't spoken about yet, but we will get to, is a 2019 Speedster. I think that's incredibly special. And I'm just, it's just kind of quick thought. But we have a Cayenne Turbo GT right now.
I think that's not the. Steven didn't take the Turbo GT. He just took a Cayenne Turbo.
Right. Yeah. No, the Turbo GT. That's a super hot car. It's white. It's got black with speed blue stitching. I think is what it is. In the Cayenne Turbo GT. So one thing about me, and I think anyway, I have this huge client base from the Denver metro area.
Right.
Right. I've got a client base here in Colorado Springs, right? Because people have been really welcoming to me for the last 10 plus years. But I still have a really large network of people that I help work with, sell to, and service out of the Denver area. A few of those people have Cayenne Turbo GTs. Well, anyway, I don't do this for everybody, so don't go crazy. But when cars need service, I love our service department. I think we have the best service advisors on the planet, especially when you team all three of them together and then you put Julio, our service manager, with them. And then we've got some of the best technicians on the planet. I would put this crew up against anybody. I swear to you, there's a reason they're ranked number 1 in the country, like multiple times, right?
Right.
Well, anyway, I express that to everybody, including my Denver-based clients. I'm not stupid. I understand that if you live a mile, right, from another Porsche dealership, which a lot of our clients do. However, for me, in order to capture your business and to maintain a great relationship with you, if schedules work out and you got a little bit of patience, and trust, obviously, things like that, I'll work it out with you because I live up in that area.
Right.
I'll come drop off a car, pick up yours, bring it down for service the next day, bring it back when it's done, right? I get to shake your hand in person. Sometimes you invite me in, for like a glass of wine or something like that, delivering your car, and we get to chat, talk about your next car, that kind of thing. I do that stuff all the time. All the time. I've been doing it ever since I came down here.
Brian would like to remind you for a moment that you also have a really great customer base in Bailey.
Yes.
Brian, thanks for keeping him
yes,
honest.
Absolutely. And it's so funny because to me, I'm coming down here every day anyway, right? I'm going to make the trek. I love where I live. And I love, maintaining those relationships with those customer bases from Bailey, Boulder, and all the way down. So every opportunity that I have, as long as it fits in everybody's schedule, every opportunity that I get to come meet with you in person, and if it makes your life easier and I'm doing it anyway, why not? Like, let's take advantage of it.
Where were you when I wrecked my 911?
Probably in bed. Because that was early in the morning.
No, but I mean, you could have brought it down for me.
You didn't tell me.
That's true.
So anyway, a couple of those clients have Cayenne Turbo GTs that I'll bring down for service. And I'll admit, the very first time that I ever drove one of those, like, wow, this is like a crazy harsh ride, for granted, understanding this is the most wicked
This is the wildest
SUV
Cayenne
on the planet. Right? Man, the more time that I've spent in those cars, I get it. I understand why that car is so incredibly special. And it's not. It's not the ride isn't that harsh, right? It was just the very first time taking off in one. It's different, than driving a Cayenne S or.
Well, yeah, there's going to be an adjustment.
Yeah,
period. But once you know
exactly.
what to expect, like
no, I mean, whether it's the highway or in town. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's one of those cars that just drives so effortlessly. I mean, I would take it. I would totally take it.
So we're rounding it up. We're doing the GS,
Yep.
the Speedster,
Yep, that we'll talk about. Mm-hmm.
and
Cayenne Turbo.
GT.
And that's current inventory.
I'm going to lean on you a little bit
'Kay.
because I don't know your inventory as well as
Right.
Long-time listener, first-time co-host. I already know the first one,
Okay.
and it's behind you.
Is it a tribute car?
It might be a tribute car. Someone never returned my text messages.
That wouldn't be me.
It could be, but I
You have
think
a salesperson. Oh, he must have been on vacation.
he was probably on vacation. It's a good point. So I think the 959 Tribute, that's the first one. I need to drive that to work. I need to be the guy who just drives a race car Tribute to work.
And it's actually safe now, Brendan.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You should look at it again.
I will take a look at it because the roll cage was in a hilarious place.
Quite
before.
dangerous. It was quite dangerous. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, where's your clutch foot supposed to go?
And hey, Jason, I know Kelly's probably listening. You're not. But buddy, what you did with the cage in that car, holy shnikes.
Thank you, Jason.
When you look, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. We are so blessed to have a guy like Jason work here. I kid you not. But anyway, so
I've got to pick that. I've got to
959
pick
Dakar.
991.2 GT3 with a wing. Do you have anything for me?
No, not a .2.
Okay.
But
Or a 992.1. I'm not picky. But it has to be a wing
no.
car. No. All right.
I have something very special, but I'm not going to announce it yet.
Okay, that's for next week.
Hopefully, yeah. The car is coming. I just don't know. Next week, yeah.
Red out there. That's a 991.2, isn't it? Or am I?
Oh yeah, that's a GT3 RS.
Perfect.
Yeah, 2019.
Number 2 done. I mean, that's a little more than I was planning to spend, but hey, you only live once, so
That's a non-Visoc.
that's a non-Visoc. I remember you guys talking about that. That's rare.
That's an awesome
Pretty
car.
much everyone ticks the box on Visoc, right? I need a third, and I like what I'm seeing out the window, but I want to see what you would recommend as a third in this Triumph right now. We've got a fake 959.
Right.
We've got a very cool GT3 RS. Do I round this out with a mid-engine car? Do I get an SUV? Not a Macan.
Yeah.
I've got a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the Macan, but
That's not our fault.
that's not your fault.
You know what? What I think you might like, it's we've talked about it on the show, but it's not online. We have a 2018 Panamera Turbo E-Hybrid. Panamera Turbo SE Hybrid.
I love Panameras. It's such a weird kind of underknown car.
It is.
That does everything so well.
The Turbo SE Hybrid, John has a great client that had one, or actually he's got a couple clients that have them. One of them, he traded out. But this guy would, he told us no fewer than half a dozen times about his road trip to California, taking this hybrid Panamera and how, and then doing a rally, right? I think that was the purpose of going out to California, was to do some kind of rally.
Okay.
And when he and his wife showed up, they're the only ones in this big giant sedan, right?
Right.
However, he was outgunning them. I don't know what the other cars were. I don't remember, but it was a sports car rally. He was outgunning them in power. He was outgunning them in overall like acceleration and speed. And he was also outgunning them in comfort.
I could definitely get behind that.
He and his wife had other couples asking if they could trade cars for certain sections of this rally, because they realized that our couple was so incredibly comfortable and right with everybody in the pack, whereas in the other ones were sweating their ass off.
Just working themselves to death to keep up.
Or just, getting bruises, or whatever. Everybody had fun. But,
so I'm gonna counterpoint you one car. I don't know if it's still here or not, so keep me honest.
Okay.
Signal Green GTS.
That's sold.
Okay, so we're getting a Panamera, folks. That is my three-car garage from inventory.
That's awesome.
So.
Yeah, no, that was a really cool car, the Signal Green Aero Kit car. It stayed local, Pueblo, so, I mean, there's a chance it might come back.
Might come back. And we've got Dan commenting that he really likes that black 2022 GT3 with the light corduroy interior, and he's not even a black car guy.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
Brian gives us a thumbs up for wing cars.
I love wing cars. Yeah.
I'm not going to go into my rant, but why do you buy a race car and then take all of the race car things? I don't understand the GT3 touring. Keep the race cars a race car. Brian, you rule.
So I understand the GT3 touring. I understand wanting to kind of keep it a little bit low key, and but where I stand on that though is that a lot of these cars. So when I was young, getting started in Porsche, I knew how to work on the cars, but I didn't know anything about the people. I didn't know anything about the customers. One quick thing was, these cars will be super clean. Everybody takes, if you drive one of these cars, you take really good care of it. And that's wrong. Most people do. They take great care of the cars. They keep them very clean. But there's a lot of cars out there that it's just transportation. And there's just as many French fries, in a 911 as there are in a minivan, right? It's just the way people are, right, sometimes. So I learned that rule fairly quickly. Another rule that I learned is that it's not necessarily like a celebrity-driven car.
Right.
The majority, to me, especially being younger, these are business professionals, right? These are, I think, how was it broken down to me was, the average NFL player is going to make $22 million over the course of their career, which happens to be like a 7-year career on the average, right? Whereas in a business professional is going to make $100 million over the course of their career, which happens to be like a 35, 40 year
to 55.
Yeah,
or
right.
more.
It's something where business professionals can maintain a certain lifestyle, right?
But like as a business professional myself, like I sit in an office all day and I idealize this idea of getting a GT3 that I've told you about. Like, you know what the coolest thing is? Is I could get my GT3 and I could take all the stuff that makes it special off of it. So I don't drive a race car anymore. It just looks like a normal car, but it's a GT3 really.
Well, I think secretly a lot of business professionals can be kind of introverts.
I think it's a maturity thing, and I don't have that.
Yeah. Not yet.
Yeah, but I'm going to grow up one of these
You'll
days.
get, yeah.
Brian wanted to clarify, did you say the Panamera is a Turbo SE hybrid?
Yes. It's a 2018 Panamera Turbo SE hybrid.
All right, Brian, come get it before Justin sells it to me.
Yeah. So, I definitely understand that there's a lot of people out there, they just want to be low key. They want to have the power, the sound, the driving feel, but they don't really want to talk about their car everywhere they go.
But these are such high-key people in business. Like, dare to be bold. Have a wing. Paint it orange. Or just split the difference and get one without a wing that is orange.
Yeah. Personally, I'm with you. If I'm gonna get a GT3, I'm getting one with a wing on it. That's my personal preference.
Yeah, up high.
I respect the Tourings. I appreciate them. Rumor has it that Porsche will be coming out with a GT3 Touring convertible.
I drew a picture of a GT3 Targa for us the last time we talked about this.
GT3 Targa.
The GT3 Targa.
Yeah. So we'll see if that. I mean, there's some people that say, "Oh yeah, that's coming." There's some people say like, "Nah, I don't know. That's a little out there." We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So speaking of Targas, actually, this is a really good segue. Stephen H. would like us to talk about the white Targa that's behind us.
Oh. Okay, yeah, I'll tell you a little story about that car. That car has come up multiple times in our show now because it was sitting right here where the 2019 Turbo S, beautiful car, by the way, right? Just anyway.
That's the best camera car I've ever been in.
So, ice gray metallic Targa for GTS that's sitting back out the delivery bay, if you will. Its owner showed up today to check the car out and take it for a quick test drive and anyway finish up all the paperwork before it gets clear mask and ceramic coating and window tint, and then it will wind up being shipped back to its home in Texas. Yes, I said Texas. And you know what Porsche Colorado Springs and Texas have in common? Nancy Fragoyanis.
Really?
Yes. So Nancy is from, well, she kind of came to us from Texas. She's from Texas. She loves Texas. She's a Tex-Mex girl.
Okay.
Justin is not a Tex-Mex guy. I like Mexican food. So anyway, the gentleman that ordered this car and waited for it went to high school with Nancy. This person,
it's a small world, the big state.
I got to meet him today. The reason that he ordered the car from Nancy is that he, on Facebook or something, I'm not an active Facebook person. On Facebook, he noticed that Nancy sells Porsche cars. He had a 2007 Carrera 4S Cabriolet years ago. Got rid of it in 2018, I think is what he said, which was kind of the wrong time. I mean, he did fine with the car, but, just 3 years later, that car, nearly a quarter of it, valued, right? So,
right.
So anyway, we were talking about that a little bit, but no, he discovered Nancy on Facebook because they were friends from high school. Oh, she sells Porsche cars. That's awesome, right? He's like, I'm just going to order a car from her. And he went through the whole process. Do you have any idea how many Porsche dealerships are between Porsche Colorado Springs and I think it's from the Houston area?
At least 500 in Houston, because I can tell you, I've gone on cruises with my wife where, we get to the airport, we get a rental car. We used to go see my grandpa in Houston, and driving through Houston to go see my grandpa, we passed like 4 Porsche dealerships just going across Houston.
Yeah, and they're all good.
There's Sugarland, there's
Plano,
others.
Yeah, Porsche Houston West Houston, East Houston. There's Austin.
They're probably all off the Hardy. I don't know. That's a thing in Houston.
Right, yeah. I guess, where I'm going, there's even one in Albuquerque that, people forget about for reason. So, anyway, the point being is that relationships, how key relationships are. This is from high school, man. You know how you know you're a good person is that someone that you haven't dealt with or talked to in the last 20,
decades,
30,
right?
40 years, whatever it is, right, from when you get to high school, contacts you merely because I remember you. You're a great person. I'm going to go ahead and order this $200,000 car from you.
Perfect.
Is that cool?
That's really cool.
That's cool, right? Anyway, he showed up today to take delivery. And it was a really cool, fun, special moment. I think it's awesome. It is a beautiful car. It's absolutely outstanding. We happen to have another ice gray metallic GT4 RS. What am I talking about? No, Targa 4.
Targa
GTS.
4. There
Holy
we go.
boy. My brain just spun for a second there.
I like a good transition.
Right. Yeah, that's that's sitting, right in front of that car, if you will, just underneath our kind of nets out in that section. That's available. It's a certified pre-owned car with only 600 miles on it. Something crazy like that. So Stephen H., if you like that car, if you like the one that you can see in the shot here, we have another one extremely similar to it on the website. And actually, Nancy's trying to sell that one too. So that's another one to jump on.
I think Steven does like it because he said, well, he got a beautiful Targa.
Yes, it's gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely.
And just keeping an eye on chat here, I have to again thank Brian because he says wings are important. So I feel validated because Steve said I'm going off on my GT3 touring rant again, which is true. Mm-hmm. But Brian said I'm right, Steve. So I don't know what to tell you.
What's the difference between a wing and a spoiler?
I don't know. I want both. I want as many of both as possible on every car.
There's a very important difference between...
Well, a spoiler just changes airflow. The wing is actual downforce, right? The spoiler diverts air.
Well, they both create downforce.
But you're changing the pressure of... I don't know. I'm gonna say more things that make me sound dumb. I'm gonna let you.
No, none of that's wrong. Primary difference: a wing allows airflow on both top and bottom.
Right.
A spoiler only allows airflow over the top.
Over the top. Got it.
Yeah. So the spoiler is an air dam, or the wing. It's a wing, airflow top and bottom. So
can you believe Pikes Peak's almost here? We're getting into technical nerd
There's
talk
a transition, yeah.
I mean, it's related, right? I mean,
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It's wild to me how fast this year's going. It's just really tough to think that in a few months it'll be back to the 3 a.m. mornings. And
don't remind me.
All the best parts of everything.
Yeah, maybe we should take a poll. So I got an email from this awesome 356, classic Porsche guy the other day asking if we are going to do a Porsche Classic swap meet this year. I love doing swap meets. I think it's really fun. I just haven't figured out the right time of year to do it. I've played around with it. I've noticed they've been at different times.
Yeah,
I've done it late in the year. I think the first one that we did so far was the best one. We did it in December. It was all the way at the end of the year. It was snowing outside. We did it inside our new car showroom, and I think there was a great turnout. I think the next one there was too much car activity already going on. I think it was in March or something like that. And then I tried to do it a little bit earlier in the year. Like February, before car activity starts kicking off.
Right.
And I just haven't found that magical balance. I would really like to do a classic swap meet. So I guess what I'm polling for is make a suggestion, make a recommendation. What's the best time of year to do a classic Porsche swap meet?
What if you did it right before Christmas when everyone's in panic buying mode and everyone needs to get presents for everybody? You're not necessarily in prime time. If you can do it inside, all the better. I think part of the tough part is when you did it in February last year, it was cold, right?
Yeah.
It was outdoor.
Yeah, we did it outside. Mm-hmm. The most recent one was inside. And it was inside this building.
Okay.
And then the year before that, yes, it was outside. And I didn't,
But I think the year before that it was hot, right? I remember a story about John buying smoothies for about 1 million people.
It was much warmer. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, every time doing an event like that, you learn something else, right? You learn something new and different. So it's been a learning curve for sure. I would love to do a Porsche Classic swap meet. I think you're right. I think the best one that we did was all the way at the end of the year. It was in December. It was a great turnout because there's not a lot of car stuff that's going on, if anything.
Right.
And it's inside, it's indoor. So it feels, and everyone's around. So anyway, that's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea. Do you know we're 50 minutes into the show?
That's awesome.
It's so good. But we probably ought to do business because I think you have one specific that you want to talk about.
Is it the Speedster?
I think it's the Speedster.
Yes. So arrived today, 2019 Chalk 911 Speedster with about 2,500 miles in the car. We've actually sold this car once before. It originated from Canada, and beautiful spec. Chalk exterior, black leather interior with tons of racing yellow stitching, like deviated stitching, and racing yellow seat belts. It'll be certified again, so we had to do a lot of service to it the first time it came in for certification, just because of the age. And then we'll have to redo all the CPOs. So you'll get 2 years of warranty from the day that you buy it. And then you can actually buy even more warranty right now through our finance department with its Porsche warranty, which is pretty amazing. There's something incredibly special about the 991 Generation Speedster. People were kind of referring to it as a GT3 convertible. It is not. It's
a little more complicated than that, right?
Yeah, manual transmission only. This car has front axle lift, full leather interior. I think it's number 1,248. They made 1,948 of them for the world. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The roof is not as easy as a Cabrio, right? The roof is Legos.
It's not fully automatic. However, the roof is
it semi-automatic?
Semi-automatic.
Okay.
The roof is 99.9% easier than a Spider RS.
Gotcha. That's what I was thinking it was effectively a Spider RS.
The roof doesn't come off of the car, right? At any point. It is attached to the car. So, no, this is a one-person operation.
Okay.
It takes, you do it one time, it will take you no more than 20 seconds to do it the next time.
So it's not bad.
No, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Very simple, very easy to use. And it is a Speedster. It is meant to be driven top down. It's not supposed to be driven with the top up, just like Spiders. And going all the way back to, I'm not going to say 356 Spider. That's a Speedsters. That's different.
Right.
But the 89 Speedster, I think it was the first time Porsche published that the convertible top will leak water. Because the convertible top in an 89 and a 94 Speedster was emergency purpose only and storage.
It's like the Viper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're not meant to really drive with it on.
No, exactly. It's supposed to be stowed away. The Speedster humps is just an iconic look for the back of the car.
Right.
Even though it's a rear-engine car, it gives the presence of a mid-engine car. And there's just something different. There's something super unique about the way that it drives. Everyone keeps talking about the individual throttle bodies, which makes it quite different, from a regular GT3. And I think there's just a response, that happens with the throttle, and you can feel that, you can sense that.
ITBs just drive different.
Totally.
It's a very different feeling, and it is something really good about the response.
So many people that have owned Speedsters, that no longer own Speedsters, have said that's a car that they totally should have kept. And we hear that all the time. Oh, I should have kept this one. Should have kept that one. Should have kept all of them. The Speedster, notoriously comes up as, oh my God, I totally should have kept that car.
That's a one that got away.
Absolutely. Not to mention, if you bought one new and you paid, whatever its original MSRP was, now
you made money, right?
Oh, yeah. I can't think of what this car was off the top of my head. It just showed up today. This car is going to sell for $500,000.
Wow. That's wild.
Isn't that crazy? And I think it's worth every penny. And I think it's one of those things I keep saying it over and over again. The further that we get away from today, the better that car is going to be.
I think so. It's really tough to judge what a trajectory of a car is going to be, but I think that, you're talking 1,948 units, right? That's not that much.
Right.
There's been attrition.
Yeah,
They've
right.
been on the road.
Yep.
Some have not made it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making more of them
No.
until they do, but that's a different thing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. It's got a lot of the right boxes to keep being, an appreciating classic, which
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
is kind of what you want to find early on.
Yeah, it's a special car. So again, keeping aside 356 Speedsters, 89, 94, 2011, 2019. That's it.
So we're due.
Those are the 911. Those are the 911 Speedsters. But 2011 is kind of a goofy car.
Once every roughly 10 years, we're almost due again.
Yeah, it's coming up. So, no, I think that's super special. It would be an easy way, like for as far as the collection goes, if you're collecting speedsters, something like that. I mean, if you are, you got to have one,
right? I mean,
so yeah, it's an incredibly special car. It's really cool that it came back to us because I actually really enjoy being able to say, yeah, we've sold this car 3 times now. Right? It's
wild to me how often you're able to say that too.
And this car didn't stay local, right? It came to us from Canada. That's afar. That's a little ways away.
Long ways away.
The next owner that purchased it from us is out in DC. That's
so again,
far.
not close.
Not close, right? And I'm not going to go into the whole story about how we discovered it again, but anyway, it came back, right? It came back to us. If you lived here in Colorado Springs or even in the Denver metro area, it makes sense that you trade cars in and out of the same store, right?
Right.
Here. A car, and this is not the only time that this has ever happened. This happens all the time for us. A car goes out. I mean, it goes 1,000 miles away, 2,000 miles away, right? Miami or whatever.
Right.
They trade it back in, right? They bring it back here for something else or sell it back to us. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And people will say, why does this car have 6 owners? Well, because it's had 6 badass people in its life. Right? Yeah.
I think you just find that more often with cars like this too. I can't think of any, car that occupies the kind of newer, interesting car slot in my garage that hasn't had a lot of owners. So either I'm cheap or you just see it a lot with folks that buy cars like it's probably the former, actually. I'm cheap.
Well,
what else on business? Do you have anything else?
So I guess, something that's come up, Joe, our GM, he's really fallen in love with this place called Bob's Watches. And something that Bob's Watches does really fantastic is that they explain value behind watches. And Rolex, I mean, that's an easy one to go after because, a lot of people are curious about, how come I can't find a new Rolex for sale anywhere in the world? Well, Bob's Watches helps explain, some of that stuff and why different watches, have different values and what's appreciated about them and older vintage stuff and newer things. And, kind of correlating that to what we do, because just today I met a gentleman that he doesn't know if he's looking for a 911 or a Cayenne or a Macan and may not even know the difference between all 3 of them, right? It's the first time.
Right.
That's an opportunity, for someone like myself to start explaining. And then, a value question that we get all the time is, what's this going to be worth in 10 years? I don't know.
And who can?
I don't know. But where does value come from and what is the perception of value for these cars? The Speedster is kind of an easy topic, right? Because you have historical significant things that have happened, over time. A 1989 911 Speedster, brand new, was $80,000. That's a lot of money.
That was a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Now, if you could imagine having, let's say, a 100,000 mile 1989 911 Speedster that has been well cared for and is in, there's no such thing as mint condition, right? But is in good condition, let's say overall.
There's a pretty good one in Denver, actually.
There's a great one.
There's a great one in Denver.
There's a few. But let's say it's got 100,000 miles on it, right? And it was delivered new in 1989 for $80,000. That car today, I bet you could sell for $200,000 or more.
Oh, yeah.
So with 100,000 miles, right? And as in Joe's expression, keep in mind how many times that distance is, how many times it's gone around Earth, right?
It's had a lot to do.
Absolutely.
In that time.
Absolutely. And something that I started noticing with the valuation side of things, and this is before I even got into the sales side of stuff, there is a timeline, right? And I always referred to it as a rule of 10. you purchase a car, and I'm not saying it can be any car, right? Like Cayennes are different, Panameras are different, Boxsters are different. Well, some of them, 911s, some of them. Anyway, like the special cars, if you will.
Right.
The rule of 10 is that in the first couple of years, you're probably going to see a little bit of a dip, right? In its perceived value, of the car.
Well, it hasn't really had time to become an icon.
Right. They're popular and they're out there and people are trying to flip them
but it's just
whatever.
a nice car.
It's a nice car. Now, hang on to that car, right? At like 4 or 5 years, you'll be like, oh my God, the bottom has dropped out of this stock. No.
I think that's when you start seeing what the car's actually going to do, is about 15 years in.
That's 15 years, right? So the rule
you
of
said
10,
another 5 after the 10, right?
So the rule of 10, right? So the first year of ownership, there's depreciate. Well, usually there's some depreciation. Year 2, there's depreciation. Year 3, there's depreciation.
Right.
Year 4, it kind of starts. Well, actually, year 2, it starts flattening out a little bit.
Yeah, you
But 3
soften
and
the
4,
curve a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You're softening that depreciation curve. You hang on to it. Year 5, you start seeing, oh, wow, okay, it's stabilized. If anything, it's been flatlined for a little bit. Year 6, 7, 8,
That
9,
fast.
10. 10, historically speaking, when you look at things like Carrera GTs, Carrera S's, like 993 Carrera S.
Mm-hmm.
You could have bought a 30,000 mile 98 Carrera S for $35,000 at one point in time.
Yep.
You know what you got to pay for that car now?
50
$200.
for a Carrera S?
98 Carrera S. Mm-hmm. Rear wheel drive, wide body car.
Oh,
Very few
because
of
it's
them
the
made.
last of the 993s.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So the year 10
I
mark.
mean, that's the last year you got to get lucky.
So the year 10 mark, you see it kind of, a lot of times, historically speaking, it is at that point, it is at or above what it was when it was new.
Sure.
And it can just keep going, right? Now, it may slow down, right? But it typically just kind of keeps going. You have to hang on to the car for a while. People that are buying cars and then, 8 months later saying like, hey, what do you give me for it now? Less than what you paid for it, right? Because it's too soon. Like, you're getting rid of the car too soon. This is a little bit of a holding game. You got to hang on to it. So my advice, right, for people, as much as I want you to keep trading cars in, I think kind of the sweet spot for a lot of people is 2.5, 3 years to trade cars in. And that's where it's like the least painful, if you will. But yeah, if you get a special car and you can hang on to it, right, for an extended period of time, it can be pretty rewarding.
It can be.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
I know we are sitting at just about time here. I got one last question from Steven to round it all out.
Mm-hmm.
Having my Porsche in winter storage makes me feel like I want to get another one. Do you find other clients feeling the same way?
Absolutely. And if you listen to Randy Waite, one of our sales guys, he put out a YouTube video or something about take your car out of storage. I mean, here in Colorado, it's been extremely mild, right? This winter time.
But I mean, we had that snow 2 weeks ago, and Randy had his 944, which is one of the nicer ones I've seen.
Yeah.
Just out doing snow things.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. No, but getting another one, I mean, all joking aside, like we say, everyone needs at least 5 Porsches, right? And then because they make different types of Porsche cars. But no, all joking aside is I see no reason at all, right, not to have a car for the fun and a car for every day and then a car for utility. Just meeting the gentleman today that didn't know if you wanted a 911 or a Cayenne or a Macan, one of the things I had to describe to him, it's a Porsche first, and then it's everything else after that, right? Whether it's a sports car or it's an SUV, or it's a toy or whatever, right? It's
Right.
Porsche first. If it's Porsche, it's going to be familiar. So if you've got 2 or 3 or 10, everyone that you get into is going to be recognizable, identifiable, comfortable, right, and familiar.
Yeah, you'll have that familiarity.
Absolutely. And that just, it adds to the enjoyment of your day, right? Not even so much just the drive by itself. People think I'm ridiculous, and I'll tell them, like, you're gonna think this sounds really stupid. These cars change your life. They improve your life.
I've heard that one.
They absolutely do, right? And when you get your first one, you'll understand what I mean. I've been fortunate enough to have a couple Porsche cars in my lifetime, and I've worked with salespeople, right, that got their first Porsche cars in their lifetime. It changed and improved their life.
So, Steven, there you go. You probably need another one.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Well, folks, I think that we did a car show.
Okay, we made it.
Did it without John.
Yeah,
John
we did it without an iPad.
did it without an iPad. Actually, I got news from the Dystes while we were talking.
Oh, good. Mm-hmm.
It's definitely something we should have guessed, but I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
I think that, we had great chat this time. It's always fun interacting with you guys. So thank you,
Yes.
Austin, Dan, Brian, Stephen H.,
Yes.
Steve, Clark.
Nice.
Everybody, thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. We really, really love the chat back and forth. And anyway, we're here. So, Dyste, I don't even think we'll be back next week.
Will Dicey not be back next week?
I don't think so. Anyway.
You might be stuck with me again.
That's okay. I'm enjoying it. So, if I can sign us off.
Yep.
All right. For the First Dibs podcast from inside Porsche Colorado Springs, I'm Justin.
I'm Brendan, not John.
Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great, safe weekend.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
There we go.